What's up, everybody? I'm Jesse. You're watching JL's Comics, and this is episode 2 of Super Talk. This is a live open mic show where anybody can join the panel. We do a show every Thursday, which has a closed panel and a pretty good format that we like to follow it in terms of how we do the news, the reviews, the talk. So this is just a free flow type of show for everybody. So happy to be here for episode 2. Every other Saturday, so twice a month we'll do the show to start with. And right now, at least, I'm flying solo. We had a couple short-term cancellations, I guess you could say. But hopefully some other folks will join onto the panel. We can talk about some stuff. I did want to chat about a couple things. Just had a couple ideas for some topics. But if you don't want to join, that's perfectly fine. Hang out in the chat with us. But feel free to ask any questions. I was trying to do a live Q&A, ask me anything, AMA type thing, which didn't quite. I did one, and that's pretty much it. So feel free to ask anything you want there, and I'll shoot some questions over to you. So the first thing, actually, let me go ahead and say I do have the link if you want to join the panel in the description for the video. I'm also going to post it periodically, as I am right now, into the chat, so you can join. I see Scotty. What's up, Scotty? How you doing? I see Iron Galactus. He's at work, but he's watching, so that's cool. Appreciate the dedication. And Sergeant Deathstroke. What's up, man? That's a cool name. I like it. Right on. Sweet Exorcist. How you doing? I see Jason Smith. What's up to you? And Doom143. Mahalos, bro. And that's pretty much it for now. I guess the first thing I want to talk about is Luke Cage. Let me go ahead and turn this off. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. Let me guys show you my ugly face. There you go. So Luke Cage debuted over the weekend. Hey, Carl. What's going on, man? And I'm already on episode. I haven't finished yet. I'm on episode 10. So I'm getting there. I told myself, I was talking with one of my friends at work, and I said, I don't need this right now. I said, I'm probably going to watch like maybe 5, try to, pace myself and, kind of just take it from there. 10 episodes later, which is, damn near 10 hours later. I watched a few Friday night, fell asleep, woke up this morning and watched a couple more. So I'll probably finish it off later today. I like it. It's pretty good. In fact, I like it better than season 1. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I'm not going to give any spoilers. But yeah, it was pretty good. It's not, obviously it's not Defender season 2, and it's not it's Luke Cage's show, so he has to be front and center, but it is part of that world. So you're gonna see some like cool mentions and maybe some people or not, but it's definitely very much in that world. So it's pretty cool. And I like towards the end of it. It is 13 episodes, but I feel like they've kind of learned about the pacing with it, and it's really had me interested all the way through. And yes, there's more filler parts or some filler parts, but I think that they've done a good job of kind of like managing that stuff. So yeah, so I got 3 more to go, and then I'll be done with the season. Who knows if we'll get a season 3 or what will happen after that? But yeah, I'm curious. Are you guys watching it at all, or are you into it at any episode, or you're waiting on it? So let's see here. Carl says, "Hey Jesse, Sergeant Deathstroke. Haven't seen you in a while." That's right. You've been busy playing that bass. That was really bad bass imitation. Scotty, I see your question. He's talking about Jurassic Park Fallen Kingdom. I'll get to that in a second. Sergeant Deathstroke says he's been ages. He's been working on his house. Oh, and the 2-year-old. Yeah, I imagine that. Playing daddy duties. Can imagine. Let's see here. I see Philly Superman. What's up? How you doing, man? And Exile State, he says, sorry he can't be here tonight. Have a good show. And no worries. I know you're doing some real life stuff there, so I understand. And Media Madness, when they talk about Luke Cage. Yeah, man, I'll check out when it is. If you want me on there, I'd be happy to join you. So that'd be pretty cool. I like talking about that stuff, so I definitely have some opinions to share. So we'll see if the time fits, if it works. Sweet Exorcist says he's going to binge all of Luke Cage on Tuesday and Wednesday. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm going to be binging, well, the last 3 episodes, probably later today. Tomorrow, one of my shops actually is doing like a swap meet where it's out in the parking lot, and it's not the shop, it's like people who are able to like, you like basically buy a parking spot, and that's where you put your car or like your van or your truck or whatever you have your stuff in and sell from there. So you're buying like the one spot, and then like, so it's all like a bunch of people, random people, I guess. So I'll probably check that out. And I have a birthday coupon to use, so I'll see if I can get some deals on that. So that'll be tomorrow. So I want to finish up with the show today so I can do that. Anybody, feel free to join in here. We're just chatting. Let's see. Sweet Extra says gonna binge. Oh, I just said that. Falling behind on Marvel and Netflix. Still got to catch up on Punisher. Okay, so yeah, you're a little bit behind there, Scotty. Yeah, if you enjoyed last season of Luke Cage, you'll definitely like this too. It really does a good job of talking about social, social things happening in as it did in the first season, but it's not like so in your face with it. And they acknowledge a lot of really cool cultural things as well, Jamaican culture in Harlem. The kind of like the roots of hip hop, right? It was jazz and reggae, and just kind of that confluence of those in society. And they touch on that, and there's some really cool acknowledgments in there, and some really cool musical mentions and references and cameos and stuff. So if you're at all a fan of that type of thing, it's pretty cool to see all that on the screen, TV screen. Okay, so I had a question, so I'll go back up and we'll look at that. It was Scotty. He says, are you interested in seeing Jurassic Park Fallen Kingdom? The surf scene from the commercial looks pretty cool. Yes and no. I like to say I'm not as influenced by critics, but being one myself, I kind of know what goes into that and stuff. And I'm hearing mixed things about it. And I do like the whole Jurassic Park world. The whole concept behind it sounds pretty cool. Like there's something happens where they have to basically, the question is, should they go and rescue the dinosaurs or not? Like they created them, they were already extinct and they came back by humans. But now do we have a duty because they are back and they are life to rescue them? Or should we let nature go back to the way it was? So that kind of has piqued my interest. I will probably see it because I do have the movie pass, so I can just, it's already paid, kind of like less risk there. The theater close by me is a dine-in theater. So, it's pretty cool. You get like the nice comfortable seat and stuff, so it's pretty cool. So yeah, I'll probably check it out. But I want to see Incredibles first. Incredibles 2. I may do like a double feature thing, So yeah. I guess my answer to that is I am, but I'm not as excited for some reason as I was with some of the older ones. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. How about you? You gonna see it? I want to know what you think. Let's see here. Have you watched Cloak and Dagger yet? Sweet Exorcist says, yes, I have. I watched a couple episodes of it. I think they're on episode 3 now, so I've watched all of them. It's good. It's definitely on the right channel. And there's a little much of like teen angsty type of spin on it. A little bit more than I'm normally, attracted to in terms of what I like in my shows. But that being said, and they kind of like switch the origin. There's some stuff in there that's kind of different than like the source material. But it's been pretty interesting so far. Kind of curious where it's going to go. It's kind of like they've done the origin and the establishment of the characters. Now they need to kind of like move forward with the plot, or they're going to lose me. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. Midwest says, hey, everybody. What's up, Midwest? Let's see. Scotty, Mike and Kat believe that Ilyana is attracted to Kitty in X-Men Gold number 30, but she's holding back. Do you think Kitty and Ilyana will be a couple? It's possible. It's very possible, especially in this day and age. The way comics are now. That could definitely happen. And there were some things that did happen in that issue that could definitely, be seeds planted for that to happen. So yeah, it's definitely a possibility. And if it does, yeah, that's cool. I'll keep reading it. But I think that, the way Kitty's been written, that would be a really kind of big surprise. I don't know. It's kind of like with Iceman, like sure he's gay, whatever, but the way he's been written all these years, there was like no mention, no hint of that, no nothing. So it would be kind of like a pretty big about face for that to happen. So, all right, we have grown. That's why. Yeah, I agree with you. Sweet Exorcist, has anyone ever actually been eaten by a dinosaur? Oh yeah, actually, you know what? In the first one, I forget the guy's name. He was sitting on the toilet, and the thing came and ate him. Remember that? The big scene with the T-Rex when they first met the T-Rex, and the guy, like, they jumped out of the Jeep, and the one guy ran into the outhouse to hide, and then the T-Rex came out and like it ate him. So that's actually one of the scenes. It's one of the biggest like movie errors in history. Like, in terms of like if like so when the T-Rex comes out in that scene, there's like it's raining, you got the Jeeps, and there's like the big fence next to it in the jungle. T-Rex comes over, walking over, breaks the fence. The electricity is down, you hear the wires like then when you go back, so T-Rex leaves. Now all of a sudden they're in the same spot, and the Jeep is falling down a giant cliff. But that when the scene started was just flat, and that's where the T-Rex came. I don't know. So that, if you ever look up like movie errors, like there's that. There's the stormtrooper that bumps his head on the Death Star, things like that. So that's one of those scenes. But that was the same scene where the guy got eaten. So that's pretty funny. Yeah. Let's see here. So behind, yeah, still got to watch the first new Jurassic from a few years ago. Yeah, that one was pretty cool. Oh, Chris. There's Chris.
What's going on, man?
Oh, shoot. Trying to put my headphones on.
Hey, what's happening?
There we go. Can I hear you? Can you hear me?
Yep.
I can't hear you.
I'm here. I can hear you. I mean, I hope you can hear me.
Chris is here, but I don't hear him.
Man. Can anyone else hear me? Am I just a mime?
Okay, he'll be right back. So, all right. So that's cool. So Chris will be here. I thought he was like doing some stuff. I didn't even send him the link, so I'm glad I put it in the down below for him. I'm gonna tell him that I didn't put it in the chat. So. Okay, so let's see here. Iron Fist 15, Luke Cage 28, Spec. Gotta go. All right. Yep. So yeah, that's definitely good ones.
Are we good now?
Nope. Still can't hear you. Crap.
Let's see. I got it. All right.
Okay. We'll try it again. All right, he'll be right. Philly Superman says no, they shouldn't be a couple. So yeah. What are your thoughts on Bendis' run on Man of Steel so far? So far, so good. I like it. I think that it's definitely a good start. I was pleasantly surprised by it. I think he has a good handle on Superman's voice, I guess you could say. And definitely curious to see where he goes with it. If this is kind of an indication of what's going to come in the future, then I'm happy for it. Although I still maintain that he should not have Superman in action. So let me just put that out there. All right. Midwest says that the Hunter guy too in the first one. Oh yeah, that's right. Yep. And didn't the guy with the cans, like the shaving cream cans with the stuff in it, he got eaten by all the little ones. He's like, oh, like the cute little bugs. When he fell down, he was trying to leave. That guy, I think he got eaten by it. It was a ton of little. I forget the name of the dinosaur, but yeah, that guy got eaten too. I can hear him. It is your end, Jesse. Okay. Okay, so when he pops on, I'm going to pop off and then come back. So maybe that will fix it. Hopefully he'll come back. Okay. Well, hopefully he was saying nice things to you guys because I don't know what he said. Dude, so Philly says, dude, it is Bendis. He is greedy. He can't write a character in a book. He has to write it in all their books. Yeah, true. Yeah. Like even with Iron Man, he had to have like multiple Iron Man books. Like one wasn't enough, right? Yeah. So we'll see what happens. And he's part of there's going to be in September. Let me see. Oh, well, I won't be able to tell now. What am I doing? So in September, there's going to be a couple, the start of a couple books. Let me backtrack. It's tied into Bendis.
All right, and try again. Is that good?
DC has partnered with Walmart to make these 100-page giants, these comics. So they're releasing 4 of them to start with, and there'll be one original story and then a bunch of reprints within each of them. So there's going to be Batman, and that was one that I had up before. So there's Batman, there's going to be a Justice League of America, Superman, and Teen Titans. Now, going to be $5, 100-page anthological series. You can have like a bunch of people writing. Who's doing it? I'm drawing a blank on the names. Oh my God. Jimmy Palmiotti, Amanda Connor, Tim Seeley, Dan Jurgens. And then I believe, so that's July, starting in July. So Superman Giant #1, Teen Titans, goes on. And then in September, I think it is another couple that are going to start, which is a Batman story by Bendis, and a Tom King, and a Superman story by Tom King. So Tom, who does Batman now, and Bendis doing Superman, they're going to switch for this story. Yeah, they launch in July, but then there's going to be a couple more that launch in September. So those are the other ones. And let me actually I have the names for them. Oh, it's August, excuse me. August will be the other 2. Yeah. Am I confusing myself? No. So, wait. Yeah, they arrive in the store by July. Yeah. And then in August, okay. So in August, they'll arrive in 1 week, in week 1 of each month.
All right.
With the second pair, Batman. Okay, so that's what it is. I'm confusing myself. So you start in July, and then by August, you'll have Superman and Justice League going to the first week of the month, and then Batman and Teen Titans 2 weeks later will be released. So that will be the schedule for them being released. I misspoke. But then also they're going to have some reprints within them.
Hello for everybody. Can you hear me?
So you're going to have a whole bunch of things. Harley Quinn #1, Terrifics that just came out this year, Super Sons #1, Superman Batman #1 from 2003. There's a ton more. Batman 608, which was the start of the Hush run. That'll be in there too. So a whole lot of stuff. And what's cool about it, in my opinion, is that they are exclusives. Yes, I know there's reprints, but they're exclusive to Walmart. Hey, Chris, what's up? Let me try something here.
Okay.
Hello?
Hi.
No. Okay, let me try. Stay here. I'm going to sign off, and I'll be right back, okay? I think because that worked for somebody else when that happened.
Oh, all right. Perfect. I'm sitting there like making all types of faces.
Wouldn't be a live show without tech issues, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Uh-oh. All right. Well, we're still live, which is kind of cool, I guess. If we are still live, because it just popped off and told me waiting for other people to join. So hopefully it all works out. Oh, we are still live. All right, cool. I had to check on the actual on the playback here, but Jesse will be back. I really don't have any topics right now, so just kind of hang in there and wait for him to pop back in. What's going on, everyone? What's going on, Philly Superman? What's up, Sweet Exorcist? Oh, all right. Well, that's cool. All right. It's Jesse.
All right. Now I hear you. I heard you say there's Jesse.
Yeah. They said that they could hear me the whole time. Just it was on your end. So I'm like, okay, well.
Yeah. It's happened before. I don't know. It's really weird. And then I figured out because it was with Justin. He tried it like signing off and on, trying all these things, different ports, like different headsets.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, maybe I should. So I signed off and came back and I could hear him. So that's kind of like what I guess the fix is. I have no idea what causes it, but we can hear now. So cool. All right. So I guess, yeah, we know the fix there. I was just talking about the 100-page giants that are going to be at Walmart, the exclusives.
Yeah. Yeah.
You heard about those? Yeah.
I have, so 100-page giants, which sounds awesome. You know
for
what I mean?
$5.
Back in the day. Going back to what, like I want to say like the 70s and 60s a little bit, what they used to do that stuff. So that's kind of cool. Just, I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure if I would get too many of those. But it is pretty cool because there are some stories that I'm sure people couldn't get that are being reprinted again. So that's pretty good. You had mentioned the Hush Run, which isn't super expensive to get, but I mean, $5 to get 100 pages of it versus price per issue if you didn't get them in the original and the intro. You know what I mean? It could be a little pricey. So definitely something worth looking into. I mean, if you are if you're looking just to get some new stories, I think that's a good way to do it. That way you're not chasing individual issues, things like that. And it's at Walmart, so it's just like you can go in and grab whatever you're there to get, and like, oh, what do we got over here? Oh, okay, cool.
Exactly. Yeah, and for casual people or people who aren't already collectors like we are, if you're walking through Walmart, there's thousands of stores, millions of people that go through there. We need things like that. Newsstand market is what? It's Alterna, Bongo, I think, and that's it. Like no Marvel, no DC. There's basically, I would say, no newsstand market, but it's just a very minimal one at a couple stores.
Really limited.
So we need things like this that are gonna kind of reach out to people outside of the people already going to shops, already buying comics, and it's smart to do exclusives like this or reprints because they're not going to cannibalize sales from the LCS, right?
No, not even close.
They're not even to have this there available, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's a really good thing, honestly.
I think
people are like, oh, Walmart, but you know what? It's and
that's my argument too. But
yeah. Ooh, if you're gonna try to reach like a maximum amount of people, you're gonna hit up a Walmart, And they were doing the 3-packs. I think it was the 3-packs, right? The $5 3-packs that started a couple years ago. And they didn't like take away sales from the stores, even though they had like, the big one was that Wolverine one, the X-23. Had a bunch of other new 52 titles in there, but it didn't like take away from sales from the shop. So even if they start like having like a spinner rack or something like we were talking about with GameStop, having a spinner rack, if they do something like that, like kind of further build out this program, I don't think it'll hurt shops and it's going to help the industry. So that's kind of like, that's my take on it.
Well, I think I can agree with that. And I do think that, when it comes to looking at just those different, like just that stuff there, I mean, like a lot of people who will make the argument like, oh, they're going to hurt the LCS and this and that. LCS has the benefit of back issues. You know what I mean? LCS has the benefit of new issues coming out. So even if they did just do new stuff, you're not going to be able to get Silver Age and Bronze at Walmart. What they will do, and what the smart thing is how they're doing it with the exclusives, where it's just like, you can get this here. All right, pretty cool. And maybe we'll start, having some newer stuff come in, like newsstand type issue, or just, even if it's direct, just new issues coming in for certain titles. All right, I can see that. And like you said, so many people go to Walmart, and it's just like, I mean, I know I am not a Walmart fan. I don't like going, but if my wife is like, hey, you know what? Let's go to Walmart, and I'm like, yeah, you go do all that stuff over there. I'm gonna go sneak over here and see what they got for the exclusives real quick. You know what I mean? Just
hit up the exclusives, hit up the toy aisle, and hit up the electronics and the games. Movies.
I mean, that's my domain.
Those are my areas. Yeah.
It sounds sad because it's like you're a grown adult. Like, what are you doing over here? But it's just like
you go look at the cereal and the diapers. I'm gonna go look at the toys.
Yep. It's just you know. But yeah, you know, and I think that it's a good thing. I think that, you know, it's definitely something to get a lot of those casual people for the movies and other things. You know, other avenues that like normally don't go in and check these things out. You know, it's definitely something to get a lot of those casual people for the movies and other things. It's not, you know, it's more dedicated things like local shops. But Walmart, everybody goes to. You know what I mean? Like regardless of whether you need to buy something, you know, if it was the one that has like groceries, if it, you know, you're just getting a pair of sneakers or something like that, like you'll have, you know, there'll be stuff that'll pique somebody's interest. So the way I look at it is, you know, it's a smart move. Is it gonna, you know, change the whole dynamic of how we buy comics? No, not at all. I mean, we're all going to our local shops. It's just for us, it's just another reason not to. It's just a reason not to really dread going to Walmart. That's just my take on it.
All right, let's say hi to two people who just popped on. Mr. GENEPAULACEPETER, what's up?
Hello,
brother?
hello. What's going on?
Hey.
That's it, man. I saw it go up last week. I was like, I'm gonna make sure I get on this week.
Right on. Yeah, we had Jared on last week.
Yeah,
That's a great talk. We were talking about the what do you call it? What was it called, Chris? The Cobra Salute. And Gomez, what's up, Gomez? How you doing?
I think you turn on the volume of the actual broadcast.
What's up, buddy?
Over like that.
There we go.
There you go.
Cool. Perfect.
It's like we had that radio moment where it's just like, turn on your radio, please.
Yeah. So, all right, cool. Yeah. So we had Jared on last week, and I was watching his channel. I was just mentioning Jared. It reminded me of this. He put up during the week a Halloween party from like 1991.
Yep.
For Marvel. Dan Slott actually put up a post on Instagram commenting about it. He was like, hey, somebody put up the Halloween party from 92, and he put a screenshot, and he was like, hey, this is what I looked like back then. I had a full head of hair. Like, that's pretty funny. So
that's good stuff.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. Gotta do handle real quick.
Yeah.
So I wake up this morning and I hear about this Cindy Moon silk.
I was gonna make a comment on that.
Oh my god. Well, I just want to put in my 2 cents. There's nothing wrong with jumping on board of a hype. Enjoy the hype train. I've been proven wrong.
Motherfucker.
There was a time where I was like, oh, don't buy into that. Don't buy. Yeah. Absolutely. Get involved. But don't pay hype prices.
Yeah.
That is a $20 book, and you should pay less than that, and then you've done good.
Be smart with it. And keep in mind, too, this is Sony. What else did Sony announce and then retract? How many times have they done that? Right? So, you know, just because, yeah, you're right. You don't like buy it too. Like they announced Morbius, they announced Silver and Black, they announced Night Watch. What's happening with those? We don't know.
I see a lot of people getting stuck with books or you know, thinking that things won't cap. But all you got to do is look at certain issues. Alias #1. There's a cap on that. That's not going to break. Over time, it'll garner some value the way others have traditionally in the past. But it's already felt that spike. So, I mean, I looked on eBay today out of curiosity. I saw someone put up a raw for $200 for Amazing Spider-Man #4 first appearance of Silk.
Forget it. The A cover or the variant? Because it's a variant.
Yeah, no, regular cover. And I'm just like,
hell no.
I was actually looking at the print runs earlier today. So #1, the first appearance of Cindy Moon, it's over 500,000 copies, and #4 is sitting over about 120 copies, 120,000 copies.
Wow.
So yeah, that's a lot of copies, not including variants. So keep that in mind when you're out hunting. You got to keep in mind. Try and look at Diamond distribution. See what you know the sales were. As a Comictron, that's another one you can check out, and you can look at the print runs before you actually decide on some kind of spec book or books that people are now jumping on or whatever. But yeah. But it pays to pick up a first appearance when you see it come around. Just go get it.
You never know, right?
Who
would have thought a few years ago that this random, what was random at the time, seemingly, she just happened to be bitten by the same spider, and
But the fate, like just because we hear movie talk, that people get all excited in the pants. But at one time when Spider-Girl came out in that What If comic, people went crazy for that, and that book went over $100 for a raw copy. It's gone back down since, and popularity of that character has since gone, and you got to be weary, tread carefully, even for the expensive variants, stuff like that. You want to be
be smart.
Yeah, be smart about it.
Yeah, I know you were picking up. I see that poster behind you, a bunch of the monsters.
Yeah.
When there was potential for that to be coming into the movies, right?
Yeah, well, luckily for me, I mean, I'm a fan of Kirby, and those monster books are classic anyway, but you still never know. You never know how some of these characters play out, and I still see the Halloween franchise animation stuff will still happen with it, but it was kind of what Jared actually pointed out before. Marvel will do this to recycle characters to be able to get, he calls them legal books, so that they can get the rights to maintain, ownership over the characters. So, maybe I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm still waiting for New Warriors or Thunderbolts. I think at this point we can all we have a grocery list of stuff that we'd like to see come out. But
exactly, top of a lot of people's would be Moon Knight.
Right?
Where has he been all this time? Yeah, it's funny. They have to, I think it's every 7 years they have to use it, or they lose the rights to the characters.
Yeah.
Something like that, but it's good for us. But I think that's also why they're able to do the the amalgamation characters, like the warped characters,
Oh yeah. Or what is Humberto Ramos? I've seen the preliminary drawings for these warped characters.
You cut out for a second. I didn't quite hear what you said.
Oh, Humberto Ramos. I saw he did the preliminary sketches for it, but is he responsible for these actual creations of combining the two characters, or who's being credited for this?
I think it was a product of writer's room brainstorming type of thing, like what can we do next? Because I know there was Al Ewing and a bunch of other guys that were also he did one of the images. And then there was a bunch of other guys who did some of the, there was 4 or 5 of them, and each one was by a different person.
Now Ewing is working on the Immortal
Hulk. Yeah,
that's a slow build so far. We'll see how it goes, but I talk about it in my newest video that I'll put up later. But I haven't edited it yet, so. Okay. But yeah, but yeah, the Immortal Hulk. I think that's gonna. It'd be a fun little thing to get on, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
What do you think about
what? Hey, Gomez.
About Immortal Hulk and Weapon H? Because that's a whole different story. But now Weapon H, how do you think about that story in general?
I know nothing of Weapon H. I know nothing. Yeah, I know nothing of Weapon H. Or it's only recently in the last Infinity Countdown of it all, just to give it a try. I step away for 8 months or something, and then I'll come back and that looks good. That looks good. Dazzler. I'll grab the Hulk. I'll grab those True Believers, and I'll have a read and see where we stand with it. But like Dazzler was not for me. Hulk was okay, but I'm loving Darkhawk. Darkhawk is amazing. It's super fun.
Hulk, I'm kind of excited to see where it goes, just because it's a darker story with Banner coming back, and I don't know. I just want to see where that goes, because I'm not a real big Hulk fan. Never read really Hulk. This is probably one of the first issues I'm getting of Hulk. Weapon H, I did pick up a few of them, but that's not considered Hulk because it's a mosh pit of Wolverine and Hulk. But I would like to see what they go with the story.
Yeah, I'd like to see them go up against each other. I'm sure that's going to happen.
Yeah, you never know. There's so many crossovers. You never know in issue 6 or 7. I bet you they'll have an
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we're that's being worked on for the future. I mean, you have Wolverine and Hulk clone and Weapon H, and then mashup or whatever, you know, and then you have the actual regular Hulk. That'll be there at some point.
Yeah.
You know?
There's that classic. I think it's Fantastic Four, the cover with Hulk and the Thing fighting.
Yep.
I picture that with
that's right.
Weapon H and the Hulk.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can see that.
Yeah. So yeah,
another story that I'm reading that I'm well. Go ahead, Jess.
Say I liked it. I liked the kind of like the darker take on the Hulk and getting back to like the Kirby roots with the character. Like,
yeah.
Man or a monster, you know, and that kind of battle in his mind. So
yeah,
it worked for me.
Well, he also
same here.
In that book, I mean, he seemed a lot more, you know, like you said, to embrace the monster side of him a lot more. Where it's just like, you know, like after the guy shoots him and stuff, he just has this horrible grin on his face. It's like, whoa, like
yeah, that grin.
He looks almost like he's sadistic and evil, you know, which is kind of I would say a departure from the Hulk, because I mean, you know, in the past it's just, you know, he's really angry, but he's also kind of misunderstood and everything. And this one, he's just like, no, I'm a badass, and like, you know, you're gonna find out why you're afraid of me right now, you know. So
yeah, there was one big glaring issue with that issue though that a lot of people mentioned, and that was the thing with the gun, right? And how they found the shell casings.
Yeah.
Right. He had a revolver, which keeps the casing inside
yeah,
the chamber. There wouldn't be any for them to find afterwards.
But this is one of those, you know, where the shell casing gets, you know, spit out after. It's one of those semi-automatic revolvers.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Did Gomez and GPAP, did you guys watch Luke Cage at all? Are you into that series?
I watched the first couple episodes, but never really into it. I know he's on season 2 pretty soon through the trailer, but no, to be honest.
Yeah, I haven't.
You asked Gene?
Yeah.
Cage?
I like Luke Cage. I'm not big for the show. You know what I mean? Like for the books, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. When I say it sounds all pretentious and shit. Like, oh, I'm too good for the movie. I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch Will Smith play so and so. I mean, fucking Tom Hanks is Thor. You know what I mean? I don't care what that is anymore. Like, it's very cool. I'm not going to knock it. There was a time and place where that would have been amazing for me. Avengers is a great movie. Guardians of the Galaxy, fantastic. Ant-Man's super fun. All of it has its things, but I'm not rushing out to watch them because it's a different medium. It's a different medium for something that I enjoy. So, and I don't enjoy movies. So, you know, or TV.
When you're talking about Ant-Man and Wasp, me and my wife were talking about that yesterday, and it just seems like that's not a big hype movie for me. I know that Black Panther was, Avengers, the Infinity War, but when Ant-Man and Wasp trailer came out, I wasn't as hyped as I was with those 2 previous movies. So,
and that's probably why it might actually do okay, is because chill, your expectations aren't going to be all the way up here. I mean, these Marvel movies are walking a fine line of like, if they do, you know, if they look at DC can't beat the rap. They can't beat the rap of being guys who make bad movies. They don't stand a chance. It's like Aquaman's going to come out and they're like, it's going to be terrible. Oh, this is coming out. It's going to be terrible. And they don't stand a chance. But Marvel could follow the same fate if they start putting out, you know, movies that are of the caliber of their books, and you know they're going to be in trouble. So,
well, you know, it's funny when you say that, because I remember when they announced Ant-Man, I was just like, oh shit, really? And then when you know, I had said to people that I worked with at the time, you know, like if they're gonna flop on a movie, this is gonna be it. And I remember going in with the expectation of like, you know, I hope it's okay, you know. But my expectations were like super, and it was good because it was a different type of story. So potentially, you know, I come into this one being like, you know what, I just want to see it, you know, because the last one wasn't so bad. No, get down, please, kitty. Down. Thank you. But you know, on the other side of it though, it's just like, you know, there is that whole, you know, little bit where it's just like, you know, this might not be as, you know, might not be as stellar as the other ones. I mean, it's hot. I mean, you're following Infinity War, So I mean, it's definitely not going to put up, you know, those kind of huge numbers that led up to Infinity War, but I think that it still will come out and be good. I think what they're going to do is explain some stuff that will lead into, you know, the next Avengers movie, or where they're going next with it, and maybe explain a little bit more.
But it's a good filler movie. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like, I never saw, and that probably takes away from the movie a lot. I'm sure that a lot of people worked really hard at making that movie the best they can. I'm like, it's a good filler movie, whatever. But it is, you know, from what I hear, I never saw Infinity War.
Yeah.
But Ant-Man's a great character. Wasp is a great character, underrated female heroine of the Marvel Universe. Very early, first female Avenger. I mean, she's a big deal, and she's
named the Avengers.
She deserves, which is great. Not so great if you're trying to get her first appearance, but
yeah,
but it's fun, and movies should be fun, and I can get behind that. It's when I'm expected to enjoy something because you get this one. Oh, you haven't seen Avengers and Infinity. I'm like, no, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen, I never saw Total Recall. I never saw, Lost Boys. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good movie too.
Yeah. I mean,
I know you're saying though.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I like peanut butter on my toast, but I don't like peanut butter cookies. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. You like one or the other. I don't know. But I get the appeal to it. I get it.
Yeah.
And I get excited for it to come out, and then I never watch it.
Are you like, see, my mom, when Harry Potter came out, she read the book. She reads a lot, and she goes based on the book. And if it isn't exactly like the book is, in a way, she kind of gets flustered and says, you know what, this ain't this. What is it, like one of those GPAP? Like, you read a story, and if it ain't nothing like the story based on the movie, you don't enjoy it as well.
I can't get, I can suspend my animation. I'm a comic book reader. I like comic books. I'm absolutely not above, having an imagination. But when I watch it, all I'm seeing is millionaires have a costume party. Like, I'm like, this is San Diego Comic-Con to me. I live in Newfoundland. So to me, I'm like, what am I watching here? You know what I mean? See some vendors and stuff. But actually, after I was on board, I really was. I was on board right up till Civil War, and then I watched it, and I like Crossbones, and then I started watching Civil War, and I was like, no, that's not how it goes. And then I just threw in the towel with that. I was done because I was like, they'll do whatever they want to do. They just want to make money, and that's great, awesome. But no.
Yeah, so some of the storylines or even the characters are just kind of by name only in terms of similarity. But actually, I like that because you go into it, and you're paying all this money for a ticket. You want some surprises, right? If it's exactly like the story, you already know what's going to happen. I kind of approach it as like another Earth in the multiverse, where this other stuff's happening. Comics and all of that are here, and you go into it knowing it's, at least my expectation is that it won't be like the comics. So to me, that's a benefit to them.
When do you think that, like, okay, so we've heard the Harrow County and the Lock and Key and Jupiter's Legacy last year or something. Even though it's a superhero story, it's still more about a human piece. You know what I mean? Right. I want to see more comic book movies that are not superhero, and I think that would be a nice little mix-up. I don't know what Marvel could do. I'm sure they could do something, but I'd like to see Image start stepping in and start doing their part, or whoever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's kind of like Marvel's wheelhouse. So I don't think they would be the ones to do that. But like you said, Image, or Joe Hill, Mark Millar, people like that, BKV, let them take over some other books.
Mark Millar must have, writing, animation, whatever, under his belt already. His stories are great. Everything I've read by Mark Millar, I enjoy.
Yeah.
Everything from the Ultimates, Jupiter's Legacy, Super Crooks, Chrononauts.
Yeah.
Lots of good stuff.
I mean, Wanted and Kick-Ass were really good, as comics. Kick-Ass was, I think I've only seen the first one, but it was a good movie. I think that a lot of the times too, like when you look at Marvel movies, what could they do that isn't quite a superhero story? I mean, there's plenty of things, I guess, like, they could explore more of, you know, the horror side that they have and things like that. But I mean, if you're talking about like just street level type stuff or just something that isn't quite heroes, I mean, I've always said that they could do like almost like a Twilight Zone version or Tales from the Dark Side version of a movie, kind of like, you know, if they did like what if scenarios and stuff like that would be kind of cool. You know, something where you kind of just see kind of a one-off. I think that would be a better series. You know, you have, you know, Uatu just kind of, you know, introducing a couple of little short stories, maybe like, you know, 10, 15-minute stories. So that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I remember DC did that for a little bit, animated showcase, and so they had Spectre and they were great.
Yep.
I think DC is dropping the ball with Swamp Thing, so like Marvel, pick up slack, do a Man Thing, put it out just because you can. You like tapping into those characters people aren't overly familiar with. They tried to rebirth Man Thing kind of there maybe a year or two ago.
Yeah, R.L. Stein, right? It was a really weird take on Man Thing. Yeah.
Right. But I don't know if that was that seems like a pretty big name just to hop on to make a legal book. So I don't know, man. Maybe they should do something, get ahead of the gun on it and boost the popularity of Man Thing or something outside superhero. Oh, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. For me personally, that's the big draw.
Man Thing in 3D,
right? For me, it's a big draw to the New Mutants film to know that it has its horror elements.
Yeah.
I'd like to see some of the Neil Gaiman stuff adapted.
Like what is it? Stardust.
Yeah.
I'd like to see some of them more.
It'd be like some,
like some of the monster stuff. That would be kind of cool. You know, I don't know if we could do like Tomb of Dracula, but Werewolf by Night would be pretty cool. I think that would work out pretty well. I think that you could do a lot with you know, like you could have Man Thing appearing in different stuff, like you know, have him be something within the universe. I think that there's room for a lot of different types of stuff. I think if you do more you know, like more mystical type things, like, you know, where you have Doctor Strange and all that type of stuff, because I mean you could tell they've gone cosmic, and I think they're going to expand on cosmic, but you know, there's those other genres and stuff that they could do. I mean, even if they wanted to do you know, they could take, you know, like Daredevil and stuff like that and move it more to crime if they wanted to, like you know, just where it's just like, you know, you're having these high profile crimes and things like that have to be solved by, you know, guys, you know, like that. I mean, there's a lot of different directions they still can go, and there's a lot that they can play with. I think that they've had a little bit of tunnel vision, or, you know, for the while, just because of the fact that they were trying to get back, you know, the Fantastic Four and X-Men and everything. And now that seems to be, you know, really on its way, they can really focus on it, you know, expanding out the universe and saying, okay, we have Marvel horror, we have Marvel crime, we have, you know what I mean? All these different things they can go with to really, like, you know, just give everybody a little bit of a taste of what they want.
Okay, so you know, you talk about Marvel's old wheelhouse and stuff, which was romance, the big monster books, and the westerns. So, do you think that the
Silver Age?
Yeah, do you think you could get behind a Kid Colt movie or a Two Gun Kid or something like that if they because think about it.
on Cassidy?
Well, you know, it sounds funny when we say westerns or cowboys or whatever, but think about it, the last few cowboy western films that came out were really, really good.
Well, yeah, Django Unchained. They put the Magnificent Seven back out again.
True Grit. You know, there was a ton of movies. They always turn out well. They're always popular movies. So. Yeah. What if Marvel tapped into that, or what if Marvel specifically did a true romance, like proper chick flick? You know? I don't know, man. It's something.
It could work. It could work. I mean, it just depends on if it's something to get a different audience in there, maybe, because it's just like, you know, I think a few people. I think that you'd have, you know, some comic fans that are like, all right, yeah, no, I know this, I like this, I want to check it out and see it. But then again, it's just like, you know, if there was actual, you know, like you said, chick flick type stuff, I know my wife and her girlfriends would see it.
I would see
it wouldn't be hard.
I would see a Lady Rawhide movie.
That's going back to the westerns, right? Because I was about to say she ain't no romance.
No, it's definitely a western.
But you know what, though? I mean, to talk about that, though, you know, Two Gun Kid and all that type of stuff. You never know, because it's a whole different way of doing it. And if they do it well, you could have a whole nother genre that you can expand out into.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean, I don't know. They you know, it could be just, I don't know, or even tapping into other things outside the main realm of.
Yeah,
I don't know what the movie realm is
like that new
called.
universe with Starbrand and all that crap. Like you know, or like you know some of the stuff that came out on the Epic imprint. It's just like, you know what, put that stuff. Like no one knows these characters, and it's just like, you know, it will drive people to kind of go back and see like Starbrand. Who's this guy? Let me see the Cyforce. Let's put them in a movie. You know what I mean? It sounds crazy, but it's just like, why not?
You know, I'm not gonna shit on the movies or anything like that because they're good and all that stuff, and I'm not gonna shit on the books. But I like I said, I would like to see them pay as much attention and concern to the books as they do to the movies. Then we'd probably have successful books coming out on a regular basis rather than hoping that something is good. And
yeah,
yeah, I don't know. Things come in waves. I'm just waiting out the wave and we'll see.
Yeah. I'll give this opinion on the books versus movies. I think what you have with the movies is, or with the books is, you have a lot more people that, you know, weren't really involved in comics or didn't come through in that way making those. So it's just like it's been a lot more corporate interest. And I think the movies have been given over to people that actually wanted, you know, that wanted to see them through and been done well. So it's just like, because they're doing so popular and they're doing so well, they're just given the ultimate freedom. Like, do whatever you want. You guys, you know, just keep winning, and we'll keep supporting you. The books have been, you know, just one of those things where they'll make arguments and say, well, you know, these books aren't doing so hot, and our sales on this aren't doing so hot. So let's do this next thing. Let's take it in this direction. And some guy, you know, some corporate suit making decisions, not so much the guys that are on the books. They're just like, you know, the artists and you know, the creators on the books are just doing what they're told, pretty much, is what I think is happening more at Marvel than you know, than in the cinematic aspect of it, which is sad, because it's just like, you know, it shouldn't be. I think for the comic book, for, you know, just for the books themselves, it should definitely be people who you know, worked on the books, that understand what it is to make a comic book, that are making the decisions and saying, hey, listen, this is what we're going to do. Just because people in suits don't, like, it's just like they don't get to hear the truth about it. They don't understand it. You know, even if you
just see the bottom line.
Yeah. If you explain to them a million times, it's still just like, well, I don't understand why you can't do this. Like, I mean, for anybody who's creative and has a client, and you're making something for them, and like, I want it to be this way, and it's just like, well, these are the hurdles that we have, and this is why it can't be like this, but it works better like this. Like, yeah, well, I don't understand why you can't make it this way, and they get so caught up in their own vision as to you know, as opposed to like what actually works. So I think that's where we're at now with you know, some of the books in Marvel. Some of them are pretty good, but there's other ones that, you know, I agree kind of taking a dip, just because the fact is, you know, I mean, they're not really focusing on that part of things right now. I think that they're looking at it, whereas, you know, the comics are not their moneymaker anymore. That's why I think that, you know, you see so much change and so many things just being thrown at the wall that aren't really working sometimes.
Yeah, it's more like a IP farm at this point than anything else.
Yep.
Like, exactly. Hey, let's cultivate new ideas. That's where we'll test out new characters, and if they work, maybe we can bring them over to the movies.
Yeah, and if not, well, you know what? We'll just cancel that book and put some other character out there and hope that people like it, and, you know, give it 65 covers and you know, a couple of hotshot artists on there, and, you know, people will buy it.
yeah. Instead of being out like $100 million, they're out the cost of 40,000 issues.
Yep.
And can you know, I was just about to say, throw in there too. We were talking about can they do something with the better covers? What is wrong with these covers? I mean, it's an outside wrap of the inside, same as the inside. There should be some difference. There's a slight difference. There should be something. There's not. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Well, I think I didn't see
just aesthetically.
I didn't see all the covers. I didn't look for them all. But for the Iron Man book, there was 28 covers. I think it was 28 for Iron Man #1. It's like, dude, that's crazy. Yeah. Like, I mean, I know that right now they're trying to build him up as a top tier Marvel character, but he's not. He's not. Like, I wouldn't condone it for Spider-Man either. But if you're gonna tell me, like, look, we're gonna come out with a new Spider-Man book, we're gonna come in with, you know, make a huge splash with this thing, 28 covers, Spider-Man, go. All right. I mean, I don't like the idea, but I can get behind it, I guess, for the mere fact that it's Spider-Man. Iron Man, I can't do that. It's just like how much paper are we wasting just putting this out there like that? Like seriously, 28 covers? Who's gonna buy that? Nobody.
Well, somebody definitely will.
Someone will. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure there's somebody out there who bought the whole set.
It.
An Iron Man.
All 28 covers?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man. Of course.
Oh.
Dude, they do that difference in the Iron Man suit in the
About
corner.
connecting, that's
It's
it.
difference, man.
Dude,
How about with Batman 50? You guys have seen all the covers for that.
Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah. Oh my god, so many artists. That's like 50 covers.
At least, like every artist out there got a cover.
Which is crazy. But good for them. Because
they got work.
That's the way I see it. Like, good for them. They're all getting a payday from it. Even if the book doesn't sell well or whatever, even if like their cover doesn't sell well specifically, they still got paid. So, hey, man, good for you artists for putting it out there. Tons of good variety. And you know what you do is you wait until, wait a couple months until the issue is kind of gone. And then when they're having a dollar bin sale at the LCS, scoop them up for $1. It's just like, yeah, I got 16 of these 50 covers for $1. That's right.
That's right. And that goes
back to
a lot of exclusives. Yeah, the store exclusives, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's crazy, man. I mean, I have to say, if you're a comic book cover artist, it is a great time.
That's yeah, I know. I was gonna pull a plug on some of them, but I was gonna, to be honest, I was gonna get with David Mack was one that I was gonna get that I really liked, but it's like 15 a comic. I'm like, it's too expensive, man. If I get like 4 or 5, I'm ready at $100. It's for one story.
Yeah, that's crazy. The store exclusives used to be maybe 2 covers and maybe $10 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's like 8 of them, and they're like 20, 30 a piece. It's crazy.
Yeah,
he's 20. I've seen. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just go with what I just choose the book or the cover that I like out of the ones that my local shop has, and that's about it. I don't tend to really just go scour and looking for this crazy cover or whatever. It's just because it's too hard to do that. I mean, and on top of that too, like you're saying, like how some of them demand such a high prices. It's like no. Just, because I mean that Batman run is one that I actually collect. So for me, it's just like I'm just collecting the run. I'm not really super concerned about which cover. I just like this one I like this week. I like this one. This I guess half of the month, and then the next time it comes out, I like this one. So it's cover. I switch between cover A and B all the time. Now I have basically the entire alphabet twice to check through, but I'm only gonna end up probably buying cover A and B, whichever one speaks to me.
Same here.
But yeah, these days the way they're doing the cover Bs, though, I end up getting those.
Yeah,
yeah.
They've had so many good cover Bs. I mean, there's been some great cover A's as well, but like, it just seems like, especially like I would say on Green Lanterns, they have they've had really good art on the cover B, and then Batman, they've kind of switched back and forth. Like sometimes cover A has been great, and then other times the cover, like when it was in the beginning, was David Finch doing the covers, and they were awesome. And then they had Tim Sale doing the B covers, and some of those are really good too. So it's just like,
There Tony Daniels.
Yep.
Cover nice.
Yep.
Middleton's been knocking it out of the park too.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what? The Aquaman, the A and B cover were nice this week. One with the like a piranha up front.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was a sick cover. I like that cover. This week was a nice cover art.
Yeah, I really like the Hawkman one. I picked that one up a week or 2 back.
Yes.
Yeah. It looked cool. Honestly, like Hawkman's a character that I know a very little bit about. I know some of his history. I know a little bit about the character itself. Looks like an awesome character, and just really like he's a guy who I think for as long as he's been around doesn't get his due.
Yeah.
You know, I've never really collected his book at all, but I think that he is a character that they should be. I think if they're gonna try to revitalize or revamp or try to push someone into the forefront, I think he'd be a great character just because there's a lot of good stuff you can do with him. Like he just overall, I mean, the look of him is cool. The story between him and Hawkgirl is pretty cool. So I'd like to see him get more of the time to shine. You know, how they kind of did with Aquaman, that, you know, really wrote it well and made it like so that people like, oh no, Arthur Curry's back. This is great. Like, give Hawkman his due, man. It's time for him to kind of take center stage, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, pick an origin. You have tons of different eras to choose from. So you could do like your Greek or your, you know, ancient Egypt, or you can do your westerns. You can do your space. Yep. There's a lot you can do with them. Scotty said the last Hawkman was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I think he's a cool character. I think that he's something that you know, they just kind of dropped the ball on a little bit, just because I think he is a little bit tough to write for, just because of the fact that there's so much going on with his story. But he just seems like a pretty badass character, and I think that he's the one that, like, you know, could use a little bit of time in the spotlight. So
yeah, you think there'll ever be a movie for him?
I don't know. I mean, be a part of a movie, absolutely.
Yeah.
Be part of a team, definitely. A Hawkman standalone, though, that's the type of movie that I think is something similar to how Gene's suggesting that they do with Marvel, and get some people that in there, or do some things that, like, you know, aren't quite what they've been doing. I think, you know, a Hawkman movie, people would probably go in with not high expectations, and if it's done well, like, you have a whole new franchise that you can exploit and really make great. So. Yeah. I think they should look in that direction. Like, let's look at Hawkman.
Yeah, that being said, don't get too far ahead of yourself, DC.
Don't cast a Jason Momoa type to be, you know, Hawkman. That's my thing.
Let's start DC. Let's start off with a cartoon first. Let's get a cartoon first.
Baby steps.
Baby steps.
Yeah. Philly Superman said Jeff Johns brought Hawkman to the top of his game, and Savage Hawkman destroyed it. And then Hawkman is not as much of a mess as Donna Troy's origin.
See, I don't know much about her origin. I just know about some of her time in the Titans and stuff like that. And then after, when they made her Troya or whatever, when she had like the little star outfit and stuff. Like, I learned I guess a bunch about her through Young Justice, like reading those books, just because she was kind of like, you know, one of the mentor characters that helped them out. But you know. I don't know. I think you're not going to see a Donna Troy for a long time, because, you know, Gal Gadot's, you know, the queen bee when it comes to Wonder Woman. So they're not going to put Donna Troy to usurp her just yet. It's going to be a while before you get Donna Troy.
Let's hope it's a while. Let's get some good Batman and Superman first.
I know.
We already got the good Wonder Woman. Now let's get the good Batman and the good Superman, and then go from there. You know? Scotty said the whole existing through all time angle is crazy. Maybe they can make an Inception style of movie.
That'd be cool. The only thing is that, interesting. You know what actually is similar to that, in a way, and I think is they borrowed a little bit from Hawkman, was that movie Hancock, where it was like him Herbie and Charlize Theron. Did you ever see it?
With Will Smith?
Yeah, Hancock was good.
Yeah,
Hancock, but it kind of follows that's the Hawkman story, where it's just like, you know, him and his wife, and they're out there in the world, but the closer they get to each other, you know, horrible things start happening, and one of them ends up dying. While, you know, and basically it's just like never ending cycle. They can't both be together at the same time. And I was like, I remember watching, I was like, oh, that's very much close to Hawkman. So, you know, so we do have a like they call it Hancock instead of Hawkman. So it's just like, you know, Hawkman 1.0, Hawkman Alpha stage.
That sounds weird.
Yeah. Will Smith.
Yeah, he's I don't know what happened to him. He was had a few flops, and they just stopped using him.
Yeah.
You know, what was that one where he was on the planet with his son?
Oh my God!
After Earth, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, they always like to use him in some like they like to use him in stories that don't quite pan out sometimes. And it's just like, oh, that's why I say he gets kind of pushed to the side, even though, like, I mean, he's a golden age hero. Like, you know, I feel like I mean, there's so many DC heroes that are golden age, that still are around today. But it's just like I figure that you can put him into something. I mean, if Dr. Fate can be peppered into different things all over the place, surely you can do the same thing with with Hawkman.
Well, I think even in that Deadpool snippet, Deadpool 2, which I didn't see either, but even in that Deadpool 2 snippet, when they point out, it was like, what is this, a DC movie? What are you all dark and bro? Well, that's what they should do. They should listen to Deadpool 2. They should stick with the dark stuff. Come out with the Justice League Dark. Do a Swamp Thing. Do a Spectre crossing over Constantine. Do Phantom Stranger. Do some Animal Man. Grant Morrison's Animal Man. Dead Man. There's so much they can pick from, but they always stick with like, well, maybe this time the Superman movie will be good, and this time the Batman movie will be better than last. The Batman movies have not gotten better from the first one. They've gone kind of, depending. I mean, you're a Batman fan, you'll enjoy it, but I don't know. The Wonder Woman was their first good movie, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Well, the other thing with that too is that there's a theory that I stick by a little bit, because it's just like when it comes to games, there hasn't been a standalone Superman game in a long time, and I remember listening to developers talking about it, and they were just like, the reason why you don't see more Superman games out there right now is because it's so hard to balance it, especially right now where, technology is out there. You can pretty much, you can have an open sandbox game where he flies around, does his thing. It's just, but he's supposed to be invulnerable to a lot of stuff. He's supposed to be too strong for a lot of things. So it's just like, how do you kill him? You know what I mean? How do you balance it so that this works and that doesn't? And they're just thinking about all the mechanics and everything going along with it. I think the same holds true with a Superman movie. It's like, you have to think about how you balance it. Like, the story has to be very good. The acting has to be good. Everything around it has to really shine because of the fact that it's Superman. But like it has to, you have to. The expectations are like through the roof because Superman's back. It does. Just the announcement, Superman movie's coming out soon. Well, people are already getting tickets, lining up, wanting to see it. So, I think at this point, you especially with DC's track record, you should take a step back from that and do something a little bit more obscure. That make it good, but make it something that isn't quite those. The DC Trinity. Just kind of go your own way. I know everybody wants a good Batman movie and a good Superman movie,
but you're absolutely right. They do need to get away from it, and often at this age, a lot of the people who grew up with stuff, who are going to go see movies and stuff, they grew up with what was it, Legion of Superheroes, the cartoon, right? They enjoyed it. Me, I was on the books when I was younger, when I was reading DC. Legion of Superheroes is great, ideal. Like, yeah, you could build a whole franchise just from that alone.
Yep.
Why they don't, and also too, you step away from the Golden Age thing. Golden Age is hard to push. Costumes are goofy. The origins are goofy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's
very simplistic in the stories.
Yeah, but some of it's really badass stuff too, though. Like, the old Green Lantern, awesome. But I don't know. That's DC's downfall, is that it looks too gumdrop.
Yeah. I think their problem for a while at least, and hopefully they've learned their lesson a bit and stepped back, but it's not necessarily been DC, but it's been Warner Brothers. They've been tied to corporate Warner Brothers, and they have all these mandates and these guidelines and restrictions that they have to fall into, and they want to play it safe,
That's right. I forgot they were Warner Brothers. They're not goofy, they're daffy. Their books are daffy. That's right. Or the movies are daffy.
So that's really been a hindrance for them. And that was one of the big things with, you probably didn't see it, but Suicide Squad, the movie.
I did see it. I basically saw it between music videos, clips on YouTube, and then, of course, promo teasers and things like that. And when I watched it through on 4X, and I had seen everything. There was nothing in there that I hadn't seen before.
Nice.
And I tried watching the story and stuff like that, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It looked really good. I thought it looked really good, but
that's where it stops.
again, the animation of what is Assault on Arkham? Is that when they had the Suicide Squad? That Suicide Squad animation that they did was really good. I like that.
Yeah.
The one with what's his name? Professor Zoom, right? Because they had one recently with Professor Zoom, and it was basically kind of a follow up to Flashpoint. And what he had gone ahead and he had just kind of come back to try to destroy the world again because he could, and Suicide Squad took him down, but it was pretty cool, And my daughter's kind of floating around doing some things, so my sister's trying to keep her in check. But
She's floating. That's amazing.
I'm not floating, but I mean, when she gets a good crawl going, though, she's fast. She's faster than you think.
Like pilots.
All right, guys, I'm gonna pop off and get some pizza.
All right.
All right,
Nice
it's good
chatting
talking to you
with
guys. Yep.
You too.
See you later.
Later, buddy.
No, not that. You got one. No, please don't.
There
touch
she
it.
is.
I'm just trying to keep everything away from her.
So ask her what her take is on like Suicide Squad and Deathstroke. I mean, does she have?
Ellie, what do you think about Suicide Squad and Deathstroke and all that jazz?
Doesn't know.
What do you think? Yeah. People want to know.
Yes, the people want to.
Tell us all.
Hi.
So in the Hawkman story, is that's going to be a miniseries, right? Not a full run.
That's a good question. I don't know. Let me see. Philly Superman might know.
Oh.
He might.
Wait down now.
Let's see. I don't remember it being solicited. Yeah, here we go.
Hello.
It says monthly ongoing.
Oh,
So,
yeah, that's
yeah.
because usually last time he did was a Hawkman. Was the miniseries was 6-part or 4-part? The last one I can't remember, but it was a miniseries. So I thought this one was a mini.
Man. No.
And anything on the
Hawkman
Justice League
Found?
Dark? Yeah, Hawkman Found, correct.
Yeah. On the movie Justice League Dark, I think that's still like.
No. On the series, you think DC's gonna bring them back? Because I know they have all these Justice League teams that are coming out.
Yeah.
Colors, but are they gonna actually do a Justice League Dark or not?
It's tough because they gotta establish Swamp Thing, Dead Man, Phantom Stranger. I mean, there's Etrigan. I mean, to do a cartoon of it, absolutely. But because they've already done that. But to do a
they're
movie,
doing it in June. Oh no, comics they're doing Odyssey and Justice League Dark that start. Didn't they just start? Or are about to start?
I don't think they have. I think then there might be. I didn't know about that, but that's good to keep in mind.
So I thought Tyna was supposed to be doing the Justice League Dark book.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it got delayed. Yeah, he says Dark's coming out in the comics with Wonder Woman leading the team. Yeah.
Well, then it was something I did see then.
Oh, it starts in July, so I guess it got delayed. It was originally supposed to be June, so I guess it got pushed back. I know a few other titles did too. So we'll get that soon. And then there's Odyssey, which is another one.
Nice.
That's the one with Darkseid as the leader.
That's gonna be a different whole story. Then it's gonna be a separated team. They're not gonna have the same team with Wonder Woman on it, correct?
Yeah, it's a different team. So yeah, there's a bunch of different teams that I think it was Brainiac who chose who'd be on which team.
Okay.
So he picked like Martian Manhunter, a whole bunch of people, but he does teams. So Dark is Zatanna, Swamp Thing, Man-Bat, Detective Chimp, and Wonder Woman is the team lead.
Okay. That's
And then-
good.
Yeah. And then Odyssey is Cyborg, Starfire, Jessica Cruz, Azrael, and then Darkseid as the team lead. Interesting choices, right?
Cool. And what else are you guys looking forward to coming out?
Is Chris there? Oh, he's on mute.
What are you looking forward
What's
to
coming out? Like in the next couple weeks? I don't know. I'm looking forward to reading the new X-23 book.
The X-23?
Yeah.
And then when I was looking forward to, or actually going to come out pretty soon, is Unnatural, a new artist doing that one through Image.
Yeah.
That one looks pretty cool because I was looking through that and doing my research on that one, and I kind of follow the artist on Instagram. He does pretty good art, and I like to see what the story's about.
I like the cover art on that.
Correct. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. I was like, oh, this looks pretty cool.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
the indie books through Image have been pretty. What happened?
Oh, I was just trying to think of what other books are coming out that I'm excited for.
Redneck. Now, Redneck, I've been reading, but I haven't read after issue, I think 4 or 5. I think they're in issue 12 or 13 right now. That's another one I've been trying to catch up on.
Yeah. I know a lot of people are looking forward to the is it the Teen Titans special #1?
Yeah,
that's the first appearance of Crush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that one be a hot book to get.
Yeah, that'll be next week, I think.
And then that's right. You're right on that one.
I'm curious how they're gonna play Lobo's daughter, like if she'll be an opposite or if she'll be just like him.
Yeah, that's always gonna be a mystery because they didn't really explain much about her, just her parents.
Yeah.
That's what I've been reading about.
She might be good, like with Damian Wayne, like as a team, like two like angry kids.
Yeah. Yeah. Two wrongs don't make a right.
Yeah. Did you read?
Did you read? Oh, go ahead. How about that?
Did you read Analog? The Image book?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you like that one?
Yeah, I read issues 1 and 2 and 3 yesterday.
Yeah. It's pretty good, right?
That was, heck yeah. I thought that was a really good story. The way they did it, the situation with the guy with the briefcase. His name was Jake, or
yeah.
I know it started with a J. On top of my head, I kind of like, but the situation where he has to do these jobs and then do all these photocop machines, and then he has an actual person that helps him out through the process, and he ends up seeing his father. So it's a pretty good story, as opposed to what's going on. And I left off pretty good, like the situation with the he has to go to Tokyo or something like that. So the story is actually a pretty good story. What he has to do these missions, not knowing what's inside the briefcase, was pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It reminds me of the Transporter movies where he'd like transport stuff, but like he never knew what the package was.
Yeah, that's his like golden rule, not to check what's in the briefcase.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good story.
Yeah. They got Multiple Man coming out by Matt Rosenberg. I don't know. That should be interesting. Kind of surprised Multiple Man. I think that might be the first time he ever got his own book.
Yeah, I know I've heard of him, but never really read about him, to be honest.
Yeah. He can just make a lot of himself. That's his power. Yeah. Kind of like that. What was it? There's a movie like that. Multiplicity.
Oh yeah, Michael Keaton, I think it was.
Yeah, Michael. I couldn't think of his name. Yeah, Michael Keaton. Yeah.
Keaton, yeah. The Multiplicity. That was a good movie. No, that's there's a lot of books coming out, and it's hard because, like you guys were saying about DC and Marvel and Image, it's just coming out with #1s left and right, especially Marvel and Image.
Yeah.
It's hard to pick and choose which one you want to read. Like I try to get variants, but at the same time, I try to read the stories at the same time. And there's so much out there. I get confused with what I've read. I still haven't finished
To keep track.
Dark Knight's Metal. I'm on the last 2 books.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's because I'll read it. I read it for 2-3 books, and then a number 1 comes out, so I'll read that one, and then I want to pick up issue 2 and 3 of that one, so that gives me behind Metal. So when I'm trying to backtrack, I'm already reading another story. So it's just there's so much to read out there.
Yeah, it's true. I've scaled way back on the amount of new books I pick up. I read a lot more online now, like digitally, and that's helped me out a bit because I kind of felt like because I would look at like my stack of books I haven't read, and it would be like getting taller and taller, and
that's
like,
me right there.
Yeah, like the more books there are, I'm like, that's yeah, exactly. He was doing that last year, especially. I think it was last year. He would do like whole videos on like, let's cut down my pull list. So
yeah. I've noticed your haul videos have been coming out like once every 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I wish I could do, but I just like getting the paper. No joke. I just like getting the paper. I don't know if I could go digital, but then again, like my dad, he gives me like comics on USB. Like he gave me the All-Star Batman, some Batman ones, some Harley Quinns, but I still have the original like paper quality. But I've read it a couple of times on the computer, but I never tried digital.
Yeah, I've been doing. Oh, he dropped off. Just to kind of. Oh no, there you are. Okay, I thought you. Yeah, that was him. Yeah, I've cut down a lot on like just the books, just to get the books, but like I still pick up the keys and stuff. So that's kind of the route that I've been taking, like more digital and like maybe some trades, and then like still getting my keys like in the single floppy paper form. That's kind of the direction my collecting is going.
Or wait till they get in trades.
Yeah, exactly. And the trades come out really fast now.
Yeah, I've noticed that. And before it used to take like a month, and like after it's over, it take like a month, and they'll come out. Now it's like right when it's over, like 2 weeks, the trade comes out. Yeah,
exactly. They don't waste any time. It's crazy. But it is 7 o'clock, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and shut down shop here. Typically, it's about an hour-long show, so we ran over on that, which is perfectly fine. You know, it goes as long as it goes, so that's cool. And this is episode 2, so you know, maybe by episode like 20, it'll be like a 3-hour show if like 10 people.
No.
You know? So, yeah. So all right, cool. So thanks for joining us. It was really cool to have you on here, Gomez. Definitely like first time we've kind of like been able to chat this much, you know. So that's really cool. You know,
it's funny because I've been trying to get this going, but I've been doing it through internet, regular internet, not the actual Google. And shout out to Frost, because Frost actually helped me learn how to actually jump onto this, because I was having trouble, not just your show, like with strictly Comics Edwin's when he had his. I was trying to get in, but I wasn't on the right settings.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there are some things you have to enable for the browser, like for like pop-up stuff, right? Or like
correct. Yeah. I just threw in the towel after the 3rd time.
You're like, forget it. Yeah.
I appreciate it though. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, you're always welcome too. So we're gonna be doing this every 2 weeks. So it'll be my phone died. Into July, I guess, when the next one is.
Yep.
Let me see.
Well, 2 weeks from today would be what, July? Yeah, I want to say like
the 8th or something. Yeah.
Yep.
I'll still be at Disney, so.
I got nothing going on.
All right, cool. So we will see you then. And that'll do it, guys. That's Super Talk, our open mic freestyle show, episode 2. See you guys soon.
All right, later.
Later.